Hey everyone, welcome to my at least two-part series on time manipulation in Unreal Engine 5.1. In this first episode, we'll focus on speeding up, slowing down, and stopping time in your game. In the next episode, we'll cover more complex topics such as reversing time and objects return to their previous positions. So let's get started with episode 1. Before we dive into today's episode, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. So let's jump in. First, we're going to create a blueprint for our time manipulator. This will be an actor. We're going to name this time manipulator. This is going to be a simple blueprint. We're going to add a static mesh so we can see it and maybe alter it based on some conditions. We'll just call it a manipulator. Let's go set this to something. This one will use the fountain. File save. Let's go over to the event graph. We're not going to use any overlap for this. We are going to potentially use the event begin play. Let's go ahead and create a few functions for now. We'll say speed up time, slow down time, stop time. So we're going to use a simple call here to actually affect the time. And we're going to say set global time dilation. For speeding up time, you want to do anything above 1. So right now we'll just do 2. We'll go to slow down time, anything between 0 and 1. So set time dilation. We're going to set this to 0.5, so half speed. And then for stop time, right at 0 or negatives, but 0. Disregard negatives actually do attempt to reverse time, although they won't reverse objects yet. We'll show you how to do that in episode 2. And just set that to 0. Go ahead and go back to this. We'll compile. Let's save all that. And just to begin with, we'll call our speed up time so we can see the difference here. Go ahead, compile, save. We're going to continue to use this. And while we're speeding up time, let's actually change the color of this so we can know whenever it's changing its time dilation. For a later example, for speed up time, let's say green for go, compile save, and we'll drag our time dilator out here. Maybe make that a little bigger. And we still have our item spawner here, so we'll actually get to watch these fall a little faster. If you notice, I move fast, items are falling fast, the physics is fast. Let's go ahead and show off slowing down time. Bring this out. I made these as functions so that I can use them quick for some later examples and maybe altering with inside the functions. I'll set this material inside the function as well. In fact, let's do that now. Let's go ahead and take this, go to speed up time, and we'll set that color inside of the function. Inside slow down time, let's give it maybe some kind of yellow or something for slow. works. And then for stop time, we're going to use a red. So back in the event graph, we're going to do slow down time. We see fountains yellow, so it's everything's going slow, including me. Pretty good. And then for stop time, I'm actually going to put a delay in here so I can be moving, maybe try to jump in the air right whenever it's stopping. Let's give it 2 seconds and then it'll stop time. 1, 2, and now time has stopped. So all of those are working. This may not be exactly what you want. You might sometimes want your character to actually behave differently than the environment. Setting the global time dilation will affect the entire world, but we can go into our player and set a custom time dilation that will keep him from locking up with the rest of them. So I want to tie this to, let's see, I don't have a begin play. So let me go ahead and do event begin play. And here I want to set a custom dilation and say we want him to be one at all time. So actually, this will not work for my character. For the ALS character, it seems to break some of his controls just because the ALS character is really complex in the way it's set up. So that seems to be overriding something else. So for now, we're going to get rid of this. And I'm going to tie this to just the 3 key. So he'll start off in whatever dilation the whole world is in. And then we will override that by pressing 3. We're starting with slowdown time just to test. So let's go ahead and compile, save. Right now, everything is slow, including my guy. And if I press 3, my mistake. So I didn't override this. The custom time dilation will multiply by whatever the world dilation is. So right now, the world dilation is that at 0.5. So 3 is actually overriding it with the same thing it is. So if we want to go twice speed, we would multiply or go normal speed. So if we want him to move once while the rest of the world is moving in half, we would multiply by 2. Really simple, silly mistake. So everything is moving slow. And if I press 3, my guy goes back to normal speed while everything else is falling just as slow. If I change my character to 4 times in the custom dilation, it will be twice speed of what we're normally used to, while everything else is still moving slow. Same thing if I just multiply by 10, but I want time to be slowed down to a 0.1, you can get, this will have our character moving about his normal speed, his normal speed once I press 3, while everything else in the world is moving at a 0.1. Even my camera is falling behind, which is okay for what we're showing off. So that's slowing down time and allowing your player to move at normal speed or fast speed. Same thing if we want, let's set this to 0.5, player moving at half speed. In our time manipulator, let's go change this out for speed up. So for this, our character will be moving. And once I press 3, I slow down to normal speed while everything else is moving extremely fast. We'll show this off a little more exaggerated. Speed up time. Let's do 10. At first, my character is really fast. I press 3 and I move normal while everything else is zipping around. This is a good way to get a lot of cool animations and effects in your game at different points, anything you want to use it for. The final one that we're going to look at is stopping time. You're going to see an issue. If I do 1 here, stop time is at 0. So let's change that out. I start slow time, do stop time. So it's stopped. If I press 3, I still get no reaction. If we go turn this up to 10, compile save. I press 3, still not getting any interaction. And this is because any number here multiplied by the 0 in stop time is going to be 0, so we stay stopped. One way around this, and it's maybe not ideal for your game, would be to use just an extremely low number multiplied by an extremely high number. It's still, everything appears stopped, and if I press 3, I start to move a little bit. So that's a good way to get some stop effect. It looks like I might be off a little bit. It was pretty slow. Let's add a 0 here. So we're stopped, press 3, and I'm at my normal speed while everything else is stopped. This is a good way to get some stop effect. It's not actually stopped, but it's in all regards stopped, especially if in your game you're doing just short periods of time, things being stopped. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you learned something from this tutorial on speeding up, slowing down, and stopping time in Unreal Engine 5.1. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we'll dive deeper into the time manipulation and show you how to reverse time and make objects return to their previous positions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, happy developing, and I'll see you in the next episode.